SYBSc Mathematics Practical using Maxima software. Example number 3. Find the real roots of the equation f of x is equal to x cube minus thrice x plus 1. Correct up to 7 decimal places by using method of false position. So the given equation is f of x is equal to x cube minus thrice x minus 1, x cube minus thrice x plus 1, sorry, not minus 1, it is what, plus 1. Now if you put here, okay, if you substitute x is equal to 0, then f of 0 is equal to 1 and f of 1 is equal to, f of 1 is 1 minus 3 plus 1, which is equal to minus 1. Now since f of 0 into f of 1 is less than 0, and therefore this implies our root lie between the interval 0 and 1. So this is the first step. We obtain the location of the root, we find the location of the root. In the next step, we consider a is equal to 0, b equal to 1, then f of a, that is f of a is equal to 1 and f of b is equal to minus 1, and then c is equal to a f of b minus b f of a divided by f of b minus f of a, or in other words we write this x1 is equal to 0 and x2 is equal to 1, f of x1 is equal to 1 and f of x2 is equal to minus 1, and then the value of c is equal to, x1 f of x2 minus x2 f of x1 divided by f of x2 minus f of x1, and therefore this implies c is equal to x1 is 0, f of x0 multiplied by any term is 0, x2 is equal to 1 into f of x1 is equal to 1 divided by f of x2 is minus 1 minus f of x1 is 1. So this is equal to minus 1 divided by minus 2 is equal to 1 by 2, which is equal to what, 0.5, and then find the value of f of c, or say this is equal to x3, then f of x3 is equal to f of 0.5 and which is equal to 5, which is equal to minus 0.375, and we know that which is less than 0, and in the last step, okay, f of x1 is positive, and therefore a root lies in the interval 0 to 0.5 and so on. So again we are going to apply the same process. Again consider here x1 is equal to 0, x2 is equal to 0.5, and find the f of x1 and f of x2. Continue this process. Now we are going to apply the Maxima software. So again you can, by using Maxima, you can find the root of the location of the root by using the wx plot 2d. The given equation is x cube minus thrice x plus 1, okay, and we want to want to draw the graph over the interval, say 0 to 4, okay, and okay, you can see here, if you maximize this graph, you can see, okay, so the one root lie between 0 to 1, okay, this is the root here, this is the root of the equation, and there is one more root which lie between 1 and 2, but there is one root, okay, this is the root which lie between 0 and 1. So now consider here, so consider f of x is equal to, say f of x is equal to x cube minus 3 star x plus 1. Okay, and if you consider here f of 0 star f of 1, you can see it is equal to minus 1, and which is less than 0, and therefore root lie between 0 and 1. So we consider here x1 is equal to 0 and x2 is equal to, say x2 is equal to 1. Okay, and then x3 is equal to x1 star f of x2 minus x2 star into f of x1. Okay, and divide this whole term by f of x2 minus f of x1. So by using bracket, divide this term by f of x2 minus f of x1, and therefore we get the value of x3 is 1 by 2, but we want this value should be in decimal form, so I am writing here float. So now you can see the value of x3 is what, 0.5. We get the same value here. You can check the x3 is equal to what, 0.5. Now find the sign of f of x3 here. The sign of f of x3 is equal to negative, and in the last step, in the previous step, the f of 0 and f of 1, okay, if f of 0, out of this f of 0 is what, positive, and this is negative, so the root lie between, so if you check the sign of f of x1 into f of, say, x3, you can see it is negative, so the root lie between x1 and x3, and therefore x4 is equal to okay, now the root lie between x1 and x3, so x1 star f of x3 minus x3 into f of x1, this whole divided by x f of x3 minus f of x1. So now you can check the value of x4 is positive, and since x3 is negative, you can see here x3 is what, negative. So our next step, you can check the f of x3 star f of x4. You can see, okay, it is positive. Why? F of x4 is, x4 is positive and x3 is negative. So okay, what happened, f of x3 is f of x3 and f of, okay, sorry, we want to determine the sign of f of x4 here. Sorry, sign of f of x4. So f of x4 is negative. Again, you can see f of x4 is negative, and out of this x1 and x2, since x3 is what, negative, and root lie between positive and negative, and therefore we know that f of x1, that is f of 0, is positive. Since this is negative, again our root lie between f of x1 star f of x4, and you can check it is negative, so the root lie between x1 and x4. In the first step, root lie between 0 and 1. In the next step, root lie between 0 and 0.5, here 0 and 0.5, and now our root lie between 0 and what is x4 here, x4 is what, 0.3636. So x5 is equal to x5 is equal to x1 star, okay, in bracket x1 star, say x1 star f of x4 minus x4 into f of x1 this whole divided by f of x4 minus f of x1, and we get it is equal to 0.34. You can check the x3, x4 and x5 correct up to 1 decimal places. This is the value of x4 and this is the value of x5. Now again, if you check the sign of f of x5, it is what? Again it is negative. Again it is negative. So the last positive is what? F of x1. F of x1 is positive. So if you check the sign of f of x1 star into f of x5, it is what? Negative. Okay, so the root lie between x1 and x5. In the first step, our root lie between x1, this x1 and x2, 0, 1. Next time lie between x1 and x3. This is 0 and 0.5. Next time 0 and 0.36, and now it is 0 and 0.3487. So x6 is equal to, in the bracket, x1 star f of x5 minus x5 star f of x1, and this whole divided by f of x5 minus f of x1, and we get it is equal to 0.34. Now you can check our root, the x5 and this is x6, they are correct up to, you can check here, this is the value of, okay, so now this is the value of x5 and this is the value of x6. They are correct up to, what is, they are correct up to 2 decimal places, 0.34, and here is what? 0.34. If you find the x7, they may be correct up to 4-5 decimal places. So if you increase the number of iteration, you will get the root correct up to 4, 5, 6 decimal places. So here we have applied the false position method or regular false method to find the root of the given function. Okay, so